Okay, so you want to succeed as a trader, particularly options trader in the markets, guys. You gotta forget everything you learned about trading, because in this podcast, I'm going to touch upon the three main flaws of why traders don't make millions of dollars. You have dozens of millions in front of your eyes, but you can't just seem to grasp it because you keep being the market's bitch. And I know it sounds hurtful to some of you, but like, guys, there's a major experience and education lesson within this. So I'm going to break down the three flaws why, most of you don't make it, currently don't make it, never made it in the last 20 years. And unless you change some of the things that the way you look at the markets right now, you'll never fucking make it. So the choice is yours. You go make fucking millions of dollars. And I'm talking, like, guys, please understand, I'm not talking to the fucking hedge funds who's gotten everything wrong in the last fucking 3 years in the market. I'm talking to, like, an average person sitting on the couch, trading on their fucking phone. Understand, the number of screens that you got at your house supposedly helping you trade, that's not a requirement to be successful in trading. So what your dedication to the strategy and the stuff you do on day-to-day basis is a requirement. However, so it's not about the number of the screens that you're watching charts on, but one screen is enough if you know what the fuck to look for. And the ultimate question is, do you have the balls to stick to it? Most of the people that got motherfucking 12, 15 screens at their house or their office, they think they're the badass trader. Man, I have these guys for lunch. What I'm saying is that's not a prerequisite or a requirement for success. The number of screens you have on which you watch stocks and the markets is not going to help you get an edge on your trading strategy. So let's address the three things that nobody's actually looking at right now. So you always got to be looking at something that nobody else is looking to understand what your edge is at putting these trades together. There's also such thing as increasing or decreasing ATR, which is average true range, and you want to catch a trade right before it goes into an expansion of the ATR. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that, but if you are curious about how that can help you, instead of looking at the 100 various indications or indicators out there, there's almost every day that a new indicator is made to help you trade the market. Well, there's one fucking flaw with all of these indicators is none of them are prepared for the kind of market conditions that we have now. So you can go and backtest any fucking strategy you want in the market, in the last 50 years, and it's still not going to get you to the kind of strategy you really need to have today if you're trading the markets. So something absolutely fucking astonishing is happening, and majority of the traders think it's bullish. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's never been more bearish stuff in the market happening simultaneously that's going to propel this market. As you know, if you've listened to some of our videos in the last 14 months, our base case is the market's going to drop 50% because of the base stagflation case. Now, I'm here to tell you that is our base case. And, honestly, I would not be shocked. If market dropped by 80 or 85%, from the recent highs, which were only down 10 to 15% from recent highs. So most of the people will tell you to buy the dip, and that is point number one, is you want to beat the market right now? That's not what you do. You don't buy the fucking dip just because there's so many traders that got acquainted with trading in the last 2-3 years. Now, these traders, and I'm quoting like Bloomberg and some other studies that they just released today show the greatest amount of individual traders are buying the dip. Now, my argument is very simple, and that's point number one. Now, if you go back in the history, that you will have moments in the market, like 1929 crash, 2007, 2008, to where on the way up, like when the market is moving higher, you would have a record number of individual traders that would go and buy the fuck out of the market. Like when you hear a statement, well, I go to my hairdresser and, he or she's talking about the stock market and which stock they bought and they're up 30%. Like that's probably the fucking time of the market top. Now, in this particular instance, understand that this is not the case. Now, the major highlight of that pattern is not what you would normally associate it with in 1929, where everyone was borrowing stocks on margin, or 2001 collapse, or 2007, 2008. I mean, all of these things, they have a lot of similar things, but what you have one similar component right now in the market is you have so many fresh traders that came into the market in the last 2-3 years. They don't have a fucking clue what to do in the bear market, because all they know is what? Oh my God, if you buy the dip, it's going to go higher. And so the amount of these idiots right now buying the dip is at like historic highs. So my argument is, before in every crash, we had a plethora of fucking individual investors that were driving the stocks higher at the top. Now, my argument now is we have an abundance which precedes any kind of number of traders that we have ever had in the past that are buying the dip at exactly the same moment, while institutional investors are actually shorting the fuck out of the market. Do you know when time is really bad for the market? When you got the president of the United States folding on his promise about tariffs, and the market temporarily takes it as a positive. And then for the next 7 fucking days, the market does some sort of rethinking about what the fuck just happened last Wednesday. And then tomorrow is going to be the anniversary. It's the 7 days since Trump went back on his word of never going back on tariffs. Well, he fucking did it. So the point is, that happened 6 days ago, and tomorrow is going to be day 7. And my argument is the market is going to do exactly the opposite of what it did 7 days ago. Now, 7 days ago, you saw the market shooting up to the fucking moon because the president of the United States went back on his word. Now, I don't know if anything good coming out of anybody going back on their fucking word, but it can't be good for the United States of America when the president goes back on his word. So basically, what did you fucking accomplish? You just threatened the whole fucking world with a shitload of tariffs, and you said, well, maybe I'm going to change my mind. So the person or the country that was possibly just on the verge of folding and saying yes to America, basically like, okay, fuck, you're really serious about these tariffs? Well, goddamn, I'd better go build a factory in the United States, and I better create all these jobs in the United States, and I better be a part of why United States' economy is going to fucking improve. Well, now you just fucked all of that mentality by going back on your word. So how good can that be? So anybody was on a fence about making a decision, well, damn, these tariffs are really serious. I'm going to go and invest billions of dollars in the United States, creating jobs and plants and everything, manufacturing, all this shit, right? These people now like, Are you fucking kidding me? The next day you change your mind? Well, now I'm going to change my fucking mind about investing billions of dollars in America because who the fuck knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So, and this is probably the most frustrating part, right? Because most of the people, everybody you listen to currently on CNBC, Bloomberg, whatever other media channels you listen to when it comes to economic news or trading, right? They're all saying one very fucked up thing. And that takes me to point number 2. Point number 2 is everybody's saying, oh my God, things are so uncertain. Oh my God, well, they're so uncertain. We can't make any decisions about what's going to happen next because things are just so fucking uncertain. You're fucking wrong, okay? This is probably the most ridiculous fucking statement that could be portrayed in the current media. Okay, because nothing is uncertain. Let me tell you, okay, what is absolutely fucking certain. What is absolutely fucking certain is that United States economy is going to a motherfucking recession. That is a certainty, okay? You cannot fool around, okay, and think. There's actual Wall Street analysts that are still proposing a question. Are we going to go into a recession? We've been in a motherfucking recession. Okay, and now it potentially is going to turn into a motherfucking depression, and yet you got some idiots that are still asking the question, well, how long before we go into recession? Them people are just, they are fucking, I'm not going to say the word. You know what it is. But the point is, they shouldn't even be a part of this market. If these people are so far behind where they can't see what is happening now and they can't call it what it is now, they only want to propose a question of what is already happening to be a part of the future. And then people don't belong in the markets. And that is exactly why this is still one of the greatest moments to short the hell out of the markets, because people are still in a catch-up mode. People's been so fucking brainwashed, they're still in the catch-up mode. And there's not a way that most of the people are still calculating the probability of a recession. There's no way they're going to catch up. Because by the time they catch up, their companies will be fucking bankrupt. And that's the fucking reality. So what is a certainty? Like, I absolutely would just, those people that are talking about uncertainty on public media, they need to shut the fuck up. They need to talk about what's the real certainty. And the real certainty is this. Number one, the fucking US dollar is going to collapse. If that was not obvious to you until now, well, this is your fucking wake-up call. And there's a lot of things that are positively correlated to the USD or DXY if you look in the charts. So anything that is positively correlated to a dollar is going to absolutely fucking collapse. And if you think that, that's not going to happen, then, shit, how can I put this nicely? I don't even know of a nice way to put this. You should just fucking forget about everything you know about trading. You should go take a 13 market moves course. That's about as nice as I can put this without completely insulting your fucking lack of intelligence. So, with that said, if you missed all the fucking invitations to study the 13 market moves formula, it's on you. But I'm here to tell you, because of the amount of people that are still so ridiculously fucking stupid out there trading the markets, including Wall Street, okay, it is not too fucking late for you to transform from a complete fucking idiot into a guy that beats the market in such a profound way that your wife that's fixing to leave you is going to come back to you and beg you, okay, to suck your dick because you are so fucking genius, okay? The fucking neighbors, okay, that thought they were so much better than you, okay, they're going to invite you to a fucking Christmas party or picnic this weekend that you were never invited to because goddamn, okay, you just paid off your house while they still got to make their fucking mortgage payment. I'm telling you, this is a major shift. And it is so simple that you just got to take action on it. And that is why it is just like, it is so, my goodness. If you just saw the simplicity of this on the charts, if you saw how bad and dire circumstances are to where the president of the United States got to go back on his word. I mean, that is unfixable. Okay, you think next time he's going to say something to pump the market, that shit is going to go well? It may for 2 motherfucking minutes, and then what's going to happen? It's going to fucking drop again. So, I mean, people are absolutely clueless. Wall Street is fucking clueless. And certainly, we have a record number of retail investors buying the dip, while parts of Wall Street is actually putting some big short positions. So what I'm here to tell you is that is not a recipe for a bull run. This is not a recipe for a market going higher. Okay, with all the shit that just transitioned. Understand this. This is what just happened in the last 45 days. Market participants finally began. Now, this is the beginning, okay? This is just the fucking beginning. They began repricing their base case on the market. And so the market is only down like 10% or something. And this is just the beginning of a potential 50% drop is a certainty, right? Possibly 80% or 85% drop is incoming by December of 2025. Yet you have a bunch of fuckers sitting out there talking about, wow, what is the probability that we're not going to go into recession? Fuck, man. These people, like, that tells you people are so behind that there's absolutely 100% probability that billions of dollars, trillions of dollars will be wiped out of pension funds because you have people in charge of pension funds that are still trying to figure out the probability of a recession while it's been going in fucking full blast. Okay, you still have people trying to downplay the notion of high inflation. Okay, if you need any evidence, I'm going to give you the point number 3. Exhibit number 3, if you will, okay? Not very often in history when Japanese yen raises in value in relation to USD. And we've seen a glimpse of it back in July, August of 2024. But now you're really about to see what is the outcome of such a change in a relationship between two major currencies really spells for the United States stock market and bond market included. So, with that said, I'm here to tell you that there's not many instances throughout history when Japanese yen goes higher in relation to the US dollar by as much as 50%. And one of those instances happens to be in the 70s. Well, hoopty fucking who, if you've been listening to the last 14 months of our podcast, okay, what does that fucking mean? What happened in the 70s? Jesus Christ. I hope some of you are fucking paying attention, okay? If you're not, no wonder why you're not making fucking millions in the stock market trading options, because you don't even focus on the basics. So the basics as such, there's only a few historic evidences when Japanese yen excels and appreciates against the value of US dollar. And it happens to be during the last stagflation. Everyone should know how to fucking spell it after us 14 months podcasting about it and making videos about it and showing you charts about it. There's one historic instance when Japanese yen appreciates against US dollar, and that is in the 70s. You go look at Japanese yen versus the dollar, 1971 for 1975. Okay, that happens to capture a 50% market collapse during stagflation through 1973, 1974 time frame. So, for those of you that were still on like the edge well, I don't know if it's stagflation because certain Wall Street dummies, they haven't assigned a probability of stagflation. Motherfucker, how many charts do you need? Okay, the evidence is here. It's been fucking here. It's motherfucking stagflation. And what makes it worse is what you're going to hear from the Federal Reserve Powell tomorrow. I mean, a week ago, this guy was talking about no probability of a rate cut. Let's see what he's going to say tomorrow. And I promise you, whatever the fuck comes out of his mouth tomorrow, that's not going to cause the market to go higher. It's going to cause the market to fucking go back probably to 5,000, 5,100, probably maybe to 4,900. What I'm saying is there's nothing pretty to look at here if you're a bull. And guys, the strategy is simple. Just short the fucking bounces. Yet most of you don't have the dick to do that. You don't have the balls. Leo, I can't find them. They're missing. There's another green candle. I want to buy calls. Yeah, you want to buy calls because you've never seen a real bear market, because you've been brainwashed and conditioned by the markets of the last 2-3 years that, oh, well, every dip is going to be bought. Well, yeah, anybody that thinks that, they're about to fucking blow their accounts, like, for real. Like, these people, they're buying the dip right now. Let me tell you how bad it is. They're not going to be able to trade the markets for the next 10 motherfucking years, possibly 15. So if you're buying the dip right now, I'm telling you straight fucking up right now that you're done. You're done. Like, you don't even know. If you bought the dip, like in the last couple of days, you don't even know that you just officially fucking lost it all. Because you listen to the information that will give you here at 13 Market Moves, and you think, wow, but it can't be. But the market's been dropping. Man, you look at the market fucking drop. I have one guy reached out to me today. He's like, Leo, man, I've been watching the fucking market drop for the last 45 days. I'm ready to do this, man. Let's short this. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Are you serious? You watched the market collapse all this time. You didn't make any money on the drop, and now you're ready when it is so fucking apparent to you that, oh my God, it could get a lot worse. Well, that's, guys, I mean, that is not the time to reach out. Like, this is not the time. Like, imagine some of our traders made millions. Actually, some of our traders made over 20 million, 21 million, 27 million over the course of the last 45 days. Now imagine going into this next leg lower with that kind of trading account. You don't have to risk shit. You just buy shit in the money, okay? And you're guaranteed to make fucking money. That's free money. What I'm trying to tell you is, like, when you're working with a few $1,000s in your trading account, you got to go after some seriously risky setups to try to move your account substantially higher. What, those guys that made money in the last 45 days, they don't have to do that. They can play it super motherfucking safe and still beat every fucking firm on Wall Street by simply shorting the bounces. Anyway, so I've given you the secrets just now, guys, that fucking Wall Street is not looking at. And, you know, also I'll add the last thing to this is, actually, let me just elaborate on the yen trade a little bit, okay? At the time when the United States economy is slowing down, okay, Japanese are actually raising their interest rates at the time where United States is about to lower them. And most of you will argue, well, they're not going to lower them. I'm here to tell you that fucking Powell is a weak dick motherfucker, and he's going to fucking lower the rates. They're going to do QE at the time when Japan is raising rates, and that is partially the reason why so much capital is going to flow outside of the United States, which is why the bond problem is so fucking ridiculous, because it is not so much as Japanese government own United States government bonds, but the bigger issue is the fact that there's so many Japanese corporations that own United States government bonds, and it doesn't matter what the Japanese government is going to tell them to do. Them Japanese corporations are going to dump them because it makes zero economic sanity to keep the United States government bonds. So, and who is, the reason I'm elaborating on this because some of you may or some of you may not know that the biggest outside holder, like, we have in the United States, there's some domestic holders of U.S. government bonds, and Warren Buffett would be the bigger one of them. He holds more fucking United States dog shit U.S. treasuries than anybody else in the United States, only followed closely by Apple and Microsoft and some other idiots. But the point is, the biggest holder of U.S. government shit, I'm sorry, I can't use the word bonds because it's not bonds. It's total shit. So the biggest holder of United States shit is Japan. And not all of that shit is owned by Japanese government. A lot of that shit is owned by Japanese businesses, big corporations. So I'm saying that, there's a lot of rumor how Chinese are about to unload their debt, which currently amounts to around 600 trillion, okay? 600 billion, I'm sorry. But nobody's talking about the probability of Japanese corporate holders unloading their bonds, which amounts to 1.2 trillion. And so Japan is the biggest holder of United States shit. And if they were to begin unloading that shit, see, it's not China that you got to be worried about unloading the shit. It's Japan that you got to be worried about unloading the shit. And so if I'm correct about this, which I'm basing my view on the fact that Japan is going to unload the shit based off history and what has happened in 1971 through 75, that would also, exacerbate the magnitude at which United States dollar drops in relation to the Japanese yen. So there's many ways to confirm stagflation. This is probably one of the best of them that even Wall Street has not looked into yet closely, but you will be hearing a lot about it. And I'm telling you that anybody that follow Wall Street is getting fucked. And anyone that followed 13 market moves is getting fucking wealthy beyond their fucking minds right now. So get on the right side and finally make it happen as an options trader. What you haven't been able to make it happen your entire fucking trading career. And I don't give a shit if you trade for the last 2 or 3 years or 20 years or 35 years. I don't give a damn. Okay? What you need to do is you need to embrace one strategy, one program, and you need to be accountable to it 100% of the time. No bullshit emotion decisions jumping out on the green candle on your short positions. No bullshit emotional decisions changing your strategy in the middle of the fucking day just because, well, I'm about to go get a haircut. I'm about to go into a meeting. I'm about to go get on the fucking flight. When has that changing where the fuck the market is going? So stop the stupidity, okay? You want to beat the market, you come and trade with 30 market moves. And if you get in touch with us today, it may still be a miracle that you'll get a chance to trade with a 30 market moves coach. So stop fucking wasting around your time as a trader any more than what you've already done. Okay, trade with a coach. Go to 13mmtv.com, sign up. Okay, take all the fucking courses that we offer, because if you don't take them, guess what? I mean, your probability of beating the market right now is like negative. You take the courses, your probability of being in the market goes into the positive. You trade with a coach and understanding of all the 13 market moves courses, your probability goes to the fucking moon like you've never seen it in your lifetime as far as beating the markets and fucking making millions in trading. So stop fucking off, do the right thing. You get the fucking point, guys. With or without you, this market is going to fucking collapse. Doesn't matter what the fuck they feed you in the news right now. Okay, it is 100% apparent the market is going to go way the fuck lower. So if you can't short it on the bounce, well, Jesus Christ, you may need to go to a fucking psychiatrist, which we may be hiring some here. For those of you that are still trying to buy calls, we may have to hire some fucking psychologists, psychiatrists, some of them fuckers to really talk to you about the core of why you're losing money in a bear market, because you keep buying every goddamn dip. So put an end to it. Jesus Christ. Do it today before the market collapses further. 13mmtv.com, 13marketmoves.com. Just click it, damn it.